Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
It would be nice if we could just trust our mail carriers or, trust people in general, but not everyone is nice and sweet and wants to be nice to everyone else.
More mail problems? It's an issue around the area, and one woman wants things to change. She called our whistleblower hotline after a check disappeared. She's had trouble with missing mail before, so she assumed the worst. Valley News Team's Cornelius Hawker explains how the situation ended up working itself out for her, but many others don't have a good outcome.
So I was expecting a check and kind of kept checking the mail.
Rochelle Caffrey says she waited for weeks on that check, checking the mail several times, but it never came, and it seemed all too familiar.
I had received a Christmas card from my aunt, and it was also a locked mailbox like this in the building. Well, the card was in the mailbox. The envelope was ripped open.
Mail problems in our area have come under scrutiny from us after several whistleblowers reported their mail was being taken or delivered to wrong addresses. Senator Heidi Heitkamp launched a Fix My Mail survey to address the problems, and Senator John Hoeven recently toured a mail processing plant in West Fargo, applauding the work that they do to get the mail out to you. But despite all that, people like Caffrey say there's clearly a problem.
These are like your government workers that you're supposed to trust with important things in the mail. Like, say you're expecting some kind of money for rent. Well, what happens if that money disappears? Now you can't pay your rent.
Cornelius Hawker, Valley News Live.
Caffrey ended up finding the check she waited weeks on. It was sent to a different address. She plans on addressing the issue with her post office. If something like this happened to you, let us know. Call our whistleblower hotline at 237-6576 and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to figure out what's going on. Tonight, in a Valley News Live exclusive interview, a man facing murder charges says he's innocent. Modesto Torres asked Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Nicole Johnson to visit him in jail before his jury trial begins on Thursday. He's accused of being a part of a drug ring where a number of people allegedly conspired to move over 500 grams of meth across North Dakota and Minnesota. It's a drug ring that's believed to have led to the murder of a 24-year-old outside the Flying J truck stop in Grand Forks. But Torres says he had nothing to do with the murder and says pressure from investigators led others involved in the case to say things that weren't true.
If I take a deal and everybody else takes a deal, well, then everything gets shoved under the rug and nobody hears the God honest truth.
The trial begins on Thursday and is expected to last about a week. Modesto Torres is just one piece in the puzzle of what is believed to be a large meth trafficking conspiracy operating in the Red River Valley. The entire investigation has led to 13 people being charged in federal court, including Crystal Feist, who pleaded guilty in February to a number of charges, including murder and the use of a firearm. As part of her plea, Feist admitted to shooting Austin Forsman with a shotgun upon the request of another co-conspirator believed to be Torres. She claims that motive for the murder was the result of a dispute arising out of the drug trafficking conspiracy. The others involved have all either been sentenced or are awaiting sentencing. For more information on the investigation, head to our website, valleynewslive.com. The man who triggered a lockdown and special response team presence in a Northern Valley town is now behind bars. Tyler Lafferty was reportedly armed and dangerous, and officers shut down a residential block where they believed he was hiding. They eventually located him on a farm outside the city and arrested him on outstanding warrants. Neighbors in Walhalla say they were evacuated from their homes as authorities searched for Lafferty. Officials from Pembina, Walsh, and Cavalier counties responded, and people in town say there's never that much police action there. Sheriff's officials say they never found a gun. Court records show that Lafferty currently has active felony charges against him related to drugs and theft. Authorities are looking into accusations that a former inmate of the Cass County Jail is making, accusing a former correctional officer of a sexual offense. The inmate reported the alleged offense on September 9th. 2 days later, the Cass County Sheriff's Office asked the North Dakota Bureau of Criminal Investigation to take over the case. Stick with Valley News Live for further updates on this story. Puerto Rico is still trying to recover almost a week after Hurricane Maria devastated the island. Food and water, gasoline and electricity are all desperately needed by the island's nearly 3.5 million residents. David Begnaud is in San Juan with the latest.
6 days after Maria hit with a vengeance, Mayor Yulene Cruz is at her wit's end, trying to find help.
I know that leaders aren't supposed to cry, and especially not on TV. But we are having a humanitarian crisis.
Like other hospitals on the island, the Maestro has no power. Jesus Garce Soto's cancer took a turn for the worse the same day Maria hit. His wife, Lizette.
I tried to help him, just in the night, trying to, open the doors, open the windows, but it's not easy.
Roughly half of the island has no water. FEMA says it has the supplies it needs, with more aid arriving, but there are huge challenges to delivering it.
We are an island. There's no trucks or roads that we can bring commodities, so everything had to be, we need to bring everything via airplane or via barge.
But the mayor says it's coming in too slowly. Only yesterday, she told us FEMA asked her to write a memo requesting what she needed.
I don't have energy to write a memo.
Or the time.
I'm out there saving lives, and help needs to get into people's hands.
Puerto Ricans continue to flock to service centers like this one. Here they're able to get a Wi-Fi connection. It's their only connection on an island that is without power. David Begnaud, CBS News, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
What was Hurricane Maria is now Tropical Storm Maria. It's expected to make its closest approach to the U.S. mainland on Wednesday off the Outer Banks of North Carolina. The chancellor of the North Dakota University System wants the state to investigate what he says were attempts to manipulate his office into influencing the outcome of the 2016 primary election for governor. Chancellor Mark Hagerott says he received several phone calls from people asking him to disavow or fire former Governor Ed Schaefer, who was serving as the interim president at UND. He says it was because Schaefer endorsed Doug Burgum over State Attorney General Wayne Stenjum. Hagerott wants a special assistant attorney general to review his complaints. A spokeswoman for the attorney general says lawyers are looking into that request. A Fargo girl battling a brain tumor gets her wish. At Thunder Road this evening, Make-A-Wish of North Dakota granted a request for 12-year-old Riley Ellenson to travel to Disney World and meet Princess Moana. Riley has seen the Disney flick over 15 times, so this trip is a big deal. And with all that Riley's been through, being diagnosed with a brain tumor in 2016, the extensive surgery and recovery, and simply working toward being a normal kid, her family couldn't be happier to see her thriving.
She did things that she never once in her life thought she could do, and she just plowed right through it, just like Riley. I told Riley how strong she is every day, but she doesn't think she is because she knew she had to do it and she just did it. Well, she doesn't realize that sometimes people just don't do what they have to do or what they're going to do. They just crumble, and she did not.
Riley goes in for an MRI every 6 months to make sure the tumor isn't growing. The family plans to make the Disney trip on her birthday.